Central Family. Matt Woodson here. So for tonight's rainy devotional, I wanted to share one of my favorite books with you, how it relates to the gospel story, and how the gospel story actually helps us make sense of this really complicated and difficult world that we live in. So the book that I wanted to introduce to you is entitled Silence by Shusaku Endo. He's one of the very few modern Japanese Christian authors. So if you're not a fan of reading, I still um, offer this story to you because Martin Scorsese actually adapted this book a few years ago. So this book is it takes place from the perspective of this Portuguese missionary that goes to Japan in the 17th century, and in the midst of this, this missionary is experiencing tremendous amounts of persecution, persecution that the Japanese people, Japanese Christians, experienced probably all the way up until probably about the 20th century. And you see the ways that this missionary is caring for the literal wounds of the people that he's there to care for, but also their spiritual and emotional wounds, and just caring for them in the midst of this persecution. But the book is entitled Silence for a reason. There's a lot of themes that are going on in this book, and one of the main themes is this questioning of this missionary who is experiencing doubt, who's experiencing silence from God in the midst of all of this persecution. He's wondering, why is God silent right now? Now, I won't spoil the plot for you, but the story culminates with the missionary empathizing with the story of Christ, what it's like to be betrayed, abandoned, and what it's like to sacrifice for one another. And it ends with this bittersweet moment of this character embodying the gospel story and making his life and the lives of others around him better because he knows the story so well. See, the beauty of the gospel story is that it's very relevant to our lives. The Bible is the greatest true story ever told, and as old as it is, and as old as some of the languages, it's the most relatable story that any human can ever experience. There's stories of people that doubt, that hurt, that are confused. Stories of people that are overfilled with joy. Um, and some of you actually right now may be experiencing some of those emotions. Um, but knowing the gospel story helps us in the midst of those emotions, and it helps us understand the world. Because we know the story ends good, that Christ rises from the dead, that he's interceding for us right now with the Father, and that he will come to make all things new. So knowing this story gives us peace. We know that knowing the end of the story actually doesn't spoil it for us. Usually right now we try to avoid spoilers so much, and we think that it's going to ruin the story for us. But knowing the gospel story and knowing how it ends actually gives us comfort, and it helps us savor and love the story more and more. See, that's what I love about Christian fiction writers like C.S. Lewis. They're great writers, and they're fun stories, but their themes stir up my heart. They reassure me and help me make sense of the world that I live in right now. So, if you are a writer in any form, I'd highly suggest that you understand the gospel story and use its themes to as a treasure trove of inspiration that you'll find within the gospel narrative. So, as you read scripture today or throughout the week, imagine where you are in the midst of those stories. Try to figure out what those characters are feeling, how you're similar to them, what their struggles are, and what their joys are. And not only will it make the story and make the act of reading more enjoyable, but it will begin for us to shape us more and more into the image of Christ. So, hope you guys get to enjoy some good stories throughout the week, and hope you guys stay dry for the rest of the week. Talk to you guys later. Bye.